Thank you for joining, everybody. And let's get started. Try to hold questions off till the end. We are using Zoom for questions today, not Discord. So I will try to figure out how to answer them as best as possible. Probably just live on mic when I see you raise your hands. I guess that's the way it works. And let's go over this. So this is I just called it Methods to Success. And it's basically a 5K account builder program. So what is it all about? Oops, sorry guys. Well, first, let's go over who is this not for? Anyone looking for 20 trade alerts a day, okay? This program is not for you. We take 2 to 4 trades a day on average. Most of the times, you sit on your hands, guys. That's what trading is. Okay, who else isn't this program for? Traders that stare at Twitter and believe that all these rooms should be doing 2,500% return a day at 15,000% on Fridays that they advertise, okay? Guys, it's all a lie, okay? Most of them, they literally buy one contract in a bunch of different names that cost 5 to 10 cents just so they can advertise that. It's just an advertising gimmick. That's all it is, guys. Okay, so if you're looking for either of these two things, this is not the program for you. And last, which you can't see because I went below the slides, I guess length, is anyone that's looking to get rich quick. Trading is not about getting rich quick, okay? It's about staying in the game, coming up with a system, using that system, and being consistent with that system. Okay, so what is the 5K account challenge? First things, guys, it's not a challenge. On Twitter, everyone was saying it's a challenge. What is it? What's the challenge? What do we have to do? How do we get in? Well, the challenge is discipline, guys. Just following the rules. It's just trading. I literally just opened a $5,000 account to trade the same size and try to see exactly what, I guess, the mean most of the people of my trading community are working with. So I can trade exactly the same as them. So it's not a challenge. The challenge is discipline, guys. Being disciplined, staying by the rules, keeping the emotion out, okay? The challenge is using your risk reward setup, okay? Staying within your risk reward, not taking losers and adding to losers just to average down so you could possibly get back to break even, okay? And following the setup. So if you ask me what the challenge is, this is the challenge, guys. It's basically these 3 things which will make you a trader. Okay, let's go over discipline a little bit, guys. Trading's emotional, right? You have your money at risk. I know. Every tick, it hurts. You see your P&L go up and down. By the way, looking at your P&L is the worst thing you could do because then you're not reading the charts. Okay, it's not about being right or wrong. So you're allowed to be wrong in trading, guys. You're allowed to say, I found a bull flag and I'm going to trade the bull flag. Well, guess what? The bull flag didn't work out. It didn't confirm. You're allowed to be wrong. The key is stick with your plan. Number 1, you have to stick with your plan. If you're constantly changing your trading plan, it's never going to work. Okay, it's like making a trend line just to make a trend line work to look as it's a trend line. It's never going to work. Okay, stick with your risk reward plan. It's pure math, guys. If you do not stick with a regular risk reward plan, you will not make money. It's literally that simple. This is 90% of it, okay? This one's a little harder, okay? Think like a machine. Basically, you have a stop in, it stops you out. You see a new entry, you get back in. Yes, it's hard if you get stopped out of a stock and then say, well, I'm getting back in and I'm paying 5, 10 cents more for the option. Well, you know what? The setup changed. And we're trading against machines these days. They do not care, right? They stopped out because that's one of their rules, let's say, of a trade, but then it reconfirmed and it's even stronger now. And you're going to pay 5 cents or 10 cents more of that option that you just got stopped out of. Well, you know what? You got to try to think like a machine. Take emotion out of it. Again, Trading's emotional. This is the hardest part of it. I still have traders I've been working with since I started this in June, my trading community, that we work every day to take their emotion out of it and just look at charts. And the biggest rule that I am dead on is do not overtrade, guys. Trading is not a job you have to constantly be trading every second of the day. You don't even have to trade every day. Okay? Overtrading is your worst enemy. You make a good trade, you make money, then you make 10 more trades and you give it all back with little losses, right? Death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's all comes down to overtrading. Okay? And here's the example, guys. This is exactly what I went with in the account. And this is what I teach my students, okay? It's simple math. And these numbers are just based off of a $1,000 account for the simplicity of math, okay? We use a 3-to-1 risk reward in my trading room. On every trade, we do not take a trade unless it at least has a 3-to-1 risk reward. So at a 30% win rate, which you can see on the bottom, which this thing keeps coming over, with only hitting one trade that met that 3-to-1 risk reward, within 10 trades, you are still break even, right? You lose the first one, you lose the second one. This is the only one that hit 3-to-1 risk reward because we're risking $50 a trade. 150 is 3-to-1. All the others, okay, either made less than 3-to-1 or we're losers and hit our stops. Well, if you have 30% of the time right, guys, you'll still be break even minus commissions for the month. Okay, and this is literally strict math. There's no way of changing this. If you have a 50% win rate, so all you're doing is changing your win rate from the current one we just looked at, and you're only having one that hits the proper risk reward of 3-to-1. Guess what? You have a 30% account gain in 10 trades. Okay, again, it's math. Here's your one that made 3-to-1. You were right 50% of the time. So 5 of these trades were losers, guys. 5 of these trades lost. One made your max risk reward profile, which obviously you can make more on the reward side. And the rest just made half, okay? 100 instead of 150 with risking 50. And that's 50% win rate, okay, with one max win. And in 10 trades, your whole account is 30% higher. And the last, if you hit a 50% win rate with your trades all hitting full reward, okay, which is 3-to-1, right? You're risking 50, so 3 times that's 150. Your account grows by 50%, guys. And this is realistic math that all my traders saw me do with the 5K account. Okay, now is it always this clean cut where you lose exactly your 50 and make exactly your 150? Of course not, guys, right? There are times we cut losses short. There are times it went past our stop. There are times it went way over the 3-to-1 risk reward and we made 200, 300, 400, 500% on trades. So it's not as clear cut as the spreadsheet says, but the math works out at the end, guys, right? As long as you're staying close to these profiles, this is how your account will work out. If you deviate ridiculously, it won't work, right? If you break the rules every time and let your stops go to 0, and if you cut your winners short and only let these go to $50 every time of 50, this will not work out, guys. But in general, this works. Because again, it's just math. You can't fudge the numbers like this. Okay, so how did we do, guys? We had 23 trading days. I started this August 17th. Okay, and the ending balance was $10,422.70 on a $5,000 account. That's as of the close on, actually, it was as of Saturday because I did this spreadsheet Saturday. And this was our realized gain, $5,131.57 on a $5,000 account. So we more than doubled it. And I'm pretty happy with that. After commissions and fees, it wasn't double, but we all have commissions and fees. They're all different. So I'd say we went up, the account grew by 99%. That's a great month, guys. Okay. We shouldn't expect that every month. If everyone's account grew by 100% every month, you wouldn't have any of these guys on Twitter. Okay. You wouldn't see any of this. That's huge gains, just so you know. Okay. And here's our chart, guys. Okay. So it lists all of our trades. Okay. We took we had 107 trades, but we did scale out of some. Sorry about that, guys. We did scale out of some. Our average was about 2.3 trades a day. We did a few more on Fridays because of Lotto Friday, and we take some small lottos. I hate Lotto Friday. I think it's the worst thing out there because I really just think it's people gambling. But if I see a good setup, we will trade it. So how did our month work out, guys? I actually liked the way it worked out because you know what happened? We made some money. We were up, I don't know, a few $100s. But guess what happened the second week, guys? The account was down $711. Okay, that's realistic. That happens in trading. Your account does not go straight up. So the second week of me doing this, the account was down $711. And I like that because if you go back to this slide, right, I showed you have losses, right? I started every single one with 2 losses. Just to show, keep your psychology up. If you do it correctly, okay, if you stick with the plan, it will work. You could have 3 losses in a row. You could have all 5 losses in a row, right? This is, again, it's just math. So first week or first few days, considering I started on the 17th, we were up like, I think it was like $600 or $500. I remember I wrote it down. We were down $711, okay, right here on the 26th. And then here's what the account did, and it stopped $5,131.70, which would make a trading month. The reason it's 23 days is between 22 and 23 days in a trading month, everyone. Okay, so how did we do it? Very simple. It's not really about reward. Reward's a major part of it, but control your risk, 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 okay? If you do not have money to trade tomorrow, you're done. So you have to control your risk, okay? We are in a very high volatility market, and it's only going to get worse, okay? Only reason why, we have elections coming up. That's a high volatility market in general. We're starting from, I think we closed at 27 and change today. So we're starting high. We will be in the 30s. You're going to see these massive moves. So what strategies did we use to lower our risk and still get the same benefit, if not better risk reward than regular calls or puts? We use butterflies. We use vertical spreads. We use diagonal spreads, and we use calendars. We do use regular calls and puts, but to overnight something in this market with a straight call or a straight put, I mean, I'm sure you guys do it. You wake up the next day and it's either really good or it's really bad. Well, we don't want really good or really bad. We want really good or not that big of a loss. Guys, you can do these. You don't have to know how, okay? They're very simple once I teach them to you. This is not confusing. I know the words look scary. They look confusing. Okay, once you know this, which I will teach you literally in 30 minutes, all these others work out. These are just a variation of the vertical spread. Okay. What else do we use? This is a custom calculator I built for all my members. Okay. We have it for all different account sizes because I have members literally in the room that have 100,000 plus. And I have members that have, I didn't build it for 500, but I have members that have $500 account size. So there's a risk reward calculator that we use in the room for every trade, and based on the type of trade, if it's a butterfly, if it's a lotto, if it's just a regular standard trade, you fill in the blue boxes. It tells you exactly how many to buy. Okay, the buy price, yes, we all get different entries within 2 or 3 cents. That's not the big difference. The stops, what's important. How much you're risking per contract, okay, is what's important. The reason it says contract suggestion is because sometimes you'll get an uneven number, right? You'll get 5.6. Well, then over here is where you fill in what you actually bought. If you bought 5 or 6, and that helps you out with the rest. And all of you will get a copy of this calculator. You have to live by this calculator. Okay, it comes standard preset to 5,000, the calculator. Just because that's what we're using it for in this program. What are some common mistakes? Okay, and we all make them, guys. We've all made them. Everyone, I guarantee you, everyone watching this has made these mistakes. Biggest one, over trading, okay? You hop on Twitter, oh, this guy suggests this. Let me get in. You hear this from a friend, or you're in one of these trading rooms that gives you 26 trades a day, which is absolutely crazy, right? You're always the person that gets the 3 that don't work. Don't ask me why, but that always happens, okay? So over trading, number 1. Number 2, no stops, okay? If you don't have stops, you're basically just gambling and playing risk all. You're risking everything and you're praying it works. You have to use stops, guys. FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. You see a stock going up, it's one of those Tesla days, which that's another stock I don't really love trading, or I don't really trade that much at all, period. Okay. Tesla's going up, 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 up. As soon as you get in, well, it goes down. Everyone's selling. So fear of missing out after it's made its big move. Wrong vehicle. Okay. What does that mean? You're taking a straight call and not using one of those other methods we just spoke about, which limits your risk and also sometimes limits theta, which is time decaying options. And yet you're holding it. The stock's moving in a direction. You're holding it overnight, but it's not going up as much as the stock is, or even close proportionally to your risk reward plan. So you're trading the wrong vehicle, right? Maybe you should be in a vertical spread. Maybe you shouldn't be in a straight call. Maybe you bought the wrong call. Maybe you bought the wrong put. So you have to make sure, especially in this market, you have the right option you're trading with. No plan, right? If you don't have a plan, an exit strategy, because a stop, right? We should all have our stops because that's based off of the risk reward calculator. It's going to tell us our stop. So that's set in stone. You buy the option, you put this right in there. You get stopped out, you get stopped out. Are there certain times, like at 3:45 on a Thursday, the stock's pumping and we say, you know what, let's overnight it because it looks like it's closing really strong? Yes, that can happen once in a while. But other than that, your stop's in there, it gets hit, you're out. So no stops and then no plan. If you don't know when to sell or have an idea when to sell, is it a resistance line? Is it an EMA? Is it momentum's dying? If you don't know what your exit is, well, you have no plan. So you have to have a plan to know when you're getting out of a trade. Greed, another problem many traders have, right? Okay, they just keep thinking it's going up. They never take their profits. It's a never-ending scale of it's up, it's up, it's up, it's up. Then it starts turning on you. Well, I want to get back to here. Well, it's down here. Now it's down here. Well, I want to get back to here. And it ends up being zero. Predetermined outcome. You've gotten into the trade. You've decided where it's going to go. Well, you're just sitting there waiting for this thing to happen. That will never happen. Another one, like I said, it gets back to it. Admit you were wrong. We're allowed to be wrong on trades. Okay? If you have watching anyone or trading with anyone that never shows you a losing trade, they are lying. Or they're the best trader ever out there and nobody knows about them, right? They're just secretly teaching people and doing this because they're the nicest people in the world. And the last thing, which all of this, right, this fogs it up, is just not seeing what's right in front of you and being able to read the charts, which is the biggest problem staring at your P&L causes. You can't see literally what's right in front of you. All right, so how do we overcome this? And this is not a system written in books. I just named it the 3P system. This wasn't like brain surgery. I have a process, I have a plan, and I try to protect my account. Okay, so it's the 3P system. People ask me, people are DMing me, where can I buy the book on the 3P system? Well, I don't know, maybe in 20 years I'll write a book, but I'm not that good of a writer. I'm a better trader and charter, so someone might have to help me with that, but this is it. Have a process that you go by for every trade, have a plan for every trade, and then protect your money, right? Because your money is what you need to trade tomorrow. Process. So when I'm looking at a process, what am I looking for? An edge, okay? I want to benefit. There's got to be something different. And when the trade I'm looking at than other trades, which is basically your edge, right? It's got extreme momentum? Is it EMA crossover? Is it breaking a major supply zone? Okay. So what's your edge? You want to get into a trade with an edge because it has a greater chance of moving. Technicals. I'm strict on technicals. I trade purely off of technicals. Maybe 5% off of fundamentals or news events like Tesla battery day. I have no idea what it's doing. But some people traded Tesla battery day, and you need to have targets, guys. If you don't know what you're shooting for, well, then you don't know when to get out. You don't know when to exit. So it's very hard to make a plan if you don't have a target for what you're going for. How do we come to all these things? Well, I use moving averages. I'm a huge fan of the squeeze. I do use Fibonacci, right? I mainly use it for all-time highs or making new highs. Huge fan of supply zones. That'll show you breakouts and possible breakdowns. And on our charts, we have to look at weeklies, dailies, and intradays, right? You have to put all this together. And I will teach you all of this. Okay, so a plan, right? You don't want to be in the profit or doing something and pulling your hair out. What's the trade time frame? Okay, you got into a trade. Did you get in it because you're looking at a daily chart and it's a 2 to 6 week swing for it to work out, right? Because you don't need to stare at a 10-minute or I don't stare at anything less than a 10-minute, but I know some people stare at 5 minutes, 3 minutes. But if you based your trade off of a daily, okay, you should be looking at the daily. Your backup should be the bigger view, the weekly. Okay, did you base it off of a daily and just looking for a quick overnight pop? Is it an intraday? Are you planning on closing it the same day? Well, then you're using a different time frame. So you have to know what time frame you're trading on. If you're staring at a daily, right? If you base the trade off of a daily, but you're staring at a 1 minute chart, well, the 1 minute chart will just drive you crazy. There's no reason. And if you base your trade off of a huge swing weekly and you're staring at an hourly chart, well, that's not going to help you either. So you have to put everything in correlation. In intraday, I use the 10-minute. Okay, entry. What made you get into the trade? Did it break a pivot to the upside or downside if you're going short? Okay, was it just a major price break? Meaning a level that you thought it would either hold or break against, okay? Similar to a pivot. I consider these two the same. A pivot is a major price break. Was it an EMA crossover? Did you cross over one of the major EMA levels? Did you cross over the 21, which is the mean? Okay, are you now below that, trending downwards? Or did you just cross to the upside and you're trending upwards? Or do you have a squeeze that's about to fire? Okay, which is a squeeze is a momentum indicator. Now it could work up or down. It just means there's going to be a large movement in that stock. So what was the reason you entered? You got to have a plan. Okay, target. Clearly lay out your targets and stops. Obviously, the calculator does the stops for you, but you have to do your targets yourself, and I will help you with that based off using these methods. And what are you trading, right? Options. I 99% options. So what strategy? Am I using a straight call? Am I using a vertical to make it cheaper? Am I using one of those strategies we talked about? What's the best way to make all this successful? So choosing the proper vehicle. Plan. Now this is just a trade we did on Friday. I hate trading Tesla. I'll be the first to tell you. The only reason I trade Tesla is because many members of the room love trading Tesla. And if I'm going to give the room a trade, I always take it with them. Okay. Other rooms will give you 20,000 trades. They don't take any trades. I give 2 to 5 trades a day. I take every single one of them. So we had a plan. Tesla, we identified a major supply zone with pivots. The high was 457.79. The low was 439.66. This was on Friday. And this was probably my first Tesla trade in ages. What was the edge we were looking for? We wanted EMA support, and it had room for a slingshot squeeze. What did we do? Okay, this is Tesla Friday, guys. This is the chart. There's your slingshot squeeze. You don't have to know what it means. You will learn this. Slingshot squeeze, our edge identified. Number 2, EMA support. You guys will learn all these EMAs. We had the support right here. Our major pivot, there's that 439.66, okay? There was the top of our pivot range. That's our supply zone. You guys can't see it here because this is a smaller time frame chart. Everyone in my room knows what supply zones are. Okay, so we took the trade here. I'm not very greedy with Tesla. I guess I should have been more greedy. Took it for 66 cents, sold it for $1.40, probably a little early around this candle. Ended up going up a little more, but it was Friday, and I really don't trade Tesla. But it was just a good example to show because it clearly showed the plan that we laid out on a stock that I very rarely trade. So I thought it was a good example. And it worked for a little over 100%. Okay, so protect, guys. This is the key. This is all about risk management. You have to protect your capital. Otherwise, guess what, guys? If you blow up your account, you can't trade tomorrow. Sorry, just taking a sip of water, right? So we're protecting our capital, which is risk management. How do we do that? By using stops, by having the proper size, which the calculator does for you, okay? How else do we do that? We have profit targets. We take profits, guys. We just don't let these things run so we could say some stupid percentage, okay? Percentage means nothing unless you book the gains. And it's real money, right? Anyone can take a 5-cent option and turn it into 50 cents. How many are you going to take? It's pure gambling with 5-cent options. It's ridiculous. And the proper vehicle, right? Use the proper vehicle to protect in this market, okay? Most and many of our gains were done over overnight movements. You saw that Monday, how the market, what do we open up down? I don't know, 80 handles on the SPX and a few hundred on the Dow Jones. Well, if you were long calls over the weekend, you were dead on Monday. But if you use the proper vehicle, you could be long part of the market and have short hedges on, which is exactly what we had, okay, and make money. Because our long side, using butterflies, calendars, verticals, they really couldn't lose that much because they're protected. And our downside, using just a straight put, starts making money. So most of the time in this market, overnight, we are what's called beta even, okay? Beta means how many deltas you have against the market. So if the market gaps down crazy, well, you know what? Our short positions make us a ton of money, and there's limited loss in our long positions. Same thing if it gaps up. So we try to go out beta even. I will teach you about beta. What else are we protecting, guys? Probably more important than capital. I mean, obviously capital is important because you can't trade without it, but your mental capacity. Okay, and this is what I work with traders the most on. If you're stressing out on every penny, 2-penny moves, you're using up mental capacity where you could be looking at charts, finding new trades. You're not letting your stops, you know? These are things that should help your mental capacity. You'll have the proper size. You'll have stops in. You shouldn't even be worrying about the moves because it's set in and forget it. You could have your stops in and you could have an order for a sell, a bracket order, or an OCO. You can do that with every platform. Okay, red trades. If a red trade's killing you, if you stare at it, let's say you're in a swing. We don't do a ton of swings in this program, but in general, we do swings in my trading room, okay? If it's just driving you nuts that a swing is down, just get rid of it, right? If that's ruining your day, waking up, looking at a swing, get rid of it. If it hits our stop, we're out of it automatically. But if seeing red destroys you, you have to get rid of it because it's destroying your mental capacity and you're just not thinking properly. Overtrading. I spoke to a trader that joined, I think, Friday, and we went over his whole game plan. And I asked him how many positions he was in Wednesday when he got hurt bad before he joined the room. He was in 18 positions, okay? In a VIX with 20-something, how are you going to monitor 18 positions? That's overtrading. Just put more money in the positions you feel confident on. How you know, he was in every FANG. He was in every high momentum trade, which needs a lot of attention, okay? So how you could stay in 18 positions is ridiculous. And his answer was, well, the room gave them to me, not my room, a different room. Still, that's overtrade. You can't manage it. It's impossible, guys. Even Tesla takes, I mean, my traders saw Friday when we were trading Tesla. Tesla were like so focused on Tesla because of what it could do. It takes up too much mental capacity. It's not worth it. And trading too much, right? Constantly saying, waiting for the next trade or the FOMO. You walk in, you see these guys, you know, you had to work or you You got in late. You slept late, and you got into the room, and you see all these people posting these numbers. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. You don't have to do it. Just wait till tomorrow, because you're going to end up picking the 3 losers, right? The next 3 trades, whoever that person is puts out, well, it just always happens. They're losers, right? I don't think they're doing it on purpose. It just works out that way. So protect. 2 things: capital, mental capacity. How can we accomplish this? Very simple, guys. Education. You have to understand what we're trading, how to trade, simple technicals. Okay? You need the tools, and you guys just need a little guidance. Everyone. I mean, I am so impressed with the traders in our room and how they take their own trades and just ask me for guidance, and I just do on-screen guidance for them. That's my goal. Let everyone find their own trades and become a trader, because someday, if this is what you want to do for a living, you've got to learn this stuff, guys. You got to be able to find your own trades. You don't want to follow these alert programs or systems or whatever. All these Twitter feeds. You want to be able to find your own trades and have confidence. So, what are we going to provide? Educational videos. Okay, I've been trading for 20 years, but I've been doing the educational side for almost 3 years. I opened up this room, I guess, in June. I started helping people way before that, but you're going to get videos that I've taught in my classes, which people have signed up for. You need technical analysis 101, guys. You need options 101, the basics, okay? You need to learn stacked DMAs. You have to know what this means, guys. That'll get you in the proper trades. You have to know your ATR channels, okay? Very important part of trading. Trading psychology, obviously it's not TNA, but trust me, you watch this video, you will relate to 90% of it, if not 100% of it. Risk and reward and sizing. If you do not have this down, you will not make money, okay? You need to have the proper risk reward, and you have to have the proper size, okay? It all gets back to that first slide you saw where you can be right 30% of the time and still break even on your account, okay? All that is risk reward and sizing. And that's an issue that most new traders have, is using the proper risk reward and the proper size, right? Common thing traders do: they get into a trade, they lose, they get into their second trade, well, they size higher. That's the exact opposite you should do. You have a losing trade, you should size down until your confidence is back and you have everything working correctly. You don't just double the size because you lost money. Okay? Another thing, especially since we're day traders and we're in a crazy volatile market, you have to be able to read the intraday market internals. Okay? And I'll just pull this over. All the traders in my room know about this, but you guys have to be able to read the ticks. Okay, you got to know the correlation to the VIX. Advanced decline, obviously it's not that hard. We're either advancing or declining. You have to know what to look for on the put-call ratio, and more macro, the yen and the futures. But if you don't know how to read the ticks, guys, you're going to be getting out of trades or getting into trades just off of simple short covering or profit taking. And we see that every morning, especially on gap up and gap downs. Okay, the squeeze, it's included, it's free with Thinkorswim. I think there's also a free version on that, what is that, TraderView? Whatever that free charting company is. They do have a free version. You have to learn the squeeze. You guys got to get an edge, okay? Or at least it helps to have an edge. The squeeze is a momentum-based indicator. It tells you when a stock is about to go off in a direction. So it is very helpful to use. And you have to use the proper vehicles, guys. This is not a market to just be playing calls and puts if you're overnighting stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the moves are coming overnight, the big gains. You have to use vehicles that give you limited risk and tons of gains, okay? And it's just butterflies and verticals. Is it a lot easier to just use straight calls and puts? 100%. Would I love to be in a market where we could just say, take a call, take a put, and it works out? Yes. Premiums are jacked right now. They're high as can be. because of the moves the market's making. So what does a butterfly do? I'm going to teach you a way to use this to basically lower your premium on the call you would have bought. Same thing with a vertical spread. Okay, again, everyone can do this. Here's just an example of some of my videos. They're already posted. You know, all my members get this, but my basic 101 video with technical analysis and options. It's 2.5 hours. I know it's long, guys, but you got to watch it. My stack DMA, it's also over 2 hours. You have to learn this, okay? You will know when a trade's about to go against you. That's also over 2 hours. Then they yelled at me, so I started making them 1 hour. These are just some pictures, but ATR channels. You want to know about reversion to the mean, guys. We just had it. We literally just had it in the SPY and bounced off of it. We had a weekly reversion to the mean, and that's exactly where the SPY bounced. Okay? This is the squeeze. You want to learn how the squeeze works. So you want to learn all the fundamentals behind it. Risk reward and rolling options. Okay? That's a way to take profits off the table. Must know. This is the internals I just showed you. Another one. Must know. If you don't know how to read the internals, you're going to chop yourself out of regular trades. If you can't see that, well, it's just profit taking, or in a down market like we've had Monday, it's just some short covering. You have to learn how to read this, okay? You're hurting yourselves if you don't. Indicators. You do need indicators. So what am I going to give you? My main chart setup that I start with from blank every day. When I look at a stock, I look at this chart, okay? My stack DMA layout. You need that, right? How do you know to go long and short? You need your stack DMAs. You need to know which ones to use. You need to know what the correlation should be. Doesn't matter if one is not stacked, and when can you let that apply? ATR channels, reversion to the mean. Couldn't have a better example than on, what was it, Monday? Monday's pull on the SPY, okay? We had exactly what I posted on Twitter. We're going to revert back to the weekly mean. That's exactly what we did, guys. When you're looking at your stocks, 4-time layout, chart layout, right? Even though we're trading on the 10-minute, you want to see what the hourly's doing. You want to know what the daily's doing. And right now, you want to know what the 30-minute's doing, okay? Sometimes when you zoom out and look at a chart of a stock you're in, you'll get a much better picture of where it's going. Risk reward calculator, okay? You need that. Without that, forget about it. You're just throwing darts. If you don't have this plan, you could have anything you want. You could have every EMA, every oscillator. You could buy every program out there that's for sale. If you don't have this part down, risk, reward, and sizing, the rest are useless, guys, okay? This has to be used, and you have to use it religiously and consistently. The intraday internals, I am just a huge fan of, okay? Because it helps you see what's going on behind the scenes in the market. And then the squeeze. And that's just an extra edge that you have to say, okay, I'm in a stock, we're waiting. We were in pins today. We saw the squeeze was about to fire. We've been in pins. We stayed in it longer because of the squeeze, and pins ended up firing the end of the day. So you have to know about these things. What kind of guidance is this program going to give you? We have a dedicated Discord server. Okay, you can ask any question you want. I emphasize asking questions. You can ask them in the regular chat, or you could DM me if you're embarrassed to ask them. I don't think we've had one stupid question. Trade alerts. Last month's one, we did entries, we did exits, and we did stops. I realize people are going back to work, and you won't always have the calculator in front of you. Since it's a 5K account, we're all going to be trading the same size because I'm using the same 5K you guys are. So I'm just going to include size in there, okay? Because I do understand people have to work or have to pick up their kids. You don't want to miss a trade, but you don't have that calculator in front of you. Well, we're going to put size in the alerts. Okay, anyone that doesn't know, I'm going to teach you how to enter and exit butterflies, verticals, calendars, and diagonals. You have to use these. If not, your risk is way off and you're not giving yourself proper reward. These trades made us hundreds of percentages, okay? It wasn't the straight calls or the straight puts. It was these trades. And guess what they had? My favorite thing. It limited our risk. we never had more than, even though it's a 5K account, I don't think we ever had more than 40% of the money at work at any time, which means 3,000 was always sitting in cash. So I still say use the 5K because you never want your whole account out there. But I looked over the month and we never had more than 40% at work. We have live Zoom trading from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every weekday. Okay, so you can ask any questions. You'll see charts we're looking at for the day. You'll see live trading. Now, for everyone in this program, you're going to see live trading for my whole room because there's only one Zoom room, okay? So I would suggest you only take and trade the alerts posted in your dedicated server. But you will see everything, guys, so you could do that at your own discretion. You could see it's constant learning. Like I said, we take 2 to 4 trades a day, maybe 5. Today we took, I think, 2 new positions and we closed 2 positions, so we did 4 trades today, very successfully. That's trading, guys. Discipline. You have a dedicated chat channel where you can reach me and other members that have been doing this and talk to each other. It's mainly to reach me and ask questions. So you can always DM me. And then with each one of you, there's going to be a 30-minute one-on-one call so we can go over everything to make sure you understand everything. Okay? What do you guys need? Well, you got to be able to day trade. Now, 90% of our trades were overnights, so it's not the biggest deal. People were asking me about PTD. The whole reason I did this webinar is because I was getting a ton of questions about this program. So I figured one webinar, we should be able to kill them all. Okay, in a cash account of any size, you don't have the PTD rule. It's just whatever cash is available. So you can make a cash account. That's what I did, okay, enabled to do this. You have to be able to trade the butterfly strategy. Only reason I just listed the butterfly is because if you can do this, you can do all the others. Am I a fan of Robinhood? No. But does it work? Do they allow you to do the butterfly for any account size? And I spelled account wrong? Yes. So what would I tell you to do? Open up a Robinhood account with, if you decide to do this, put $2,000 in the Robinhood account, leave $3,000 in your cash account. You'll probably never come close to either of those in either account, but it allows you to do the butterfly. And we're making so much percentage on the butterfly, you don't have to worry. Half the time, people that are using Robinhood on the last program got better fills than me. I like you to have Thinkorswim for charting, just because that's what I use, right? So all my indicators and stuff I give you, it is Thinkorswim scripts. You can use it for other things. You can take the scripts and you could still use it on any platform you're using because they're just EMAs, right? But I'll give you the actual script for Thinkorswim, so it's just 2 clicks, it's loaded. It's free, right? I have 0 money in my Thinkorswim account. And discipline, guys. Need you to be disciplined. If you're going to do what you want, this won't work out, guys. You won't make money. You won't be happy. It takes discipline to do this. It's not easy. Most of you are probably going from sitting there, constant trades, constant FOMO, constant action, to taking 2 to 3 trades a day. You got to be disciplined and saying, okay, I'm done for the day. That's it. Do whatever you want. You don't have to sit here. I have to sit here because I'm teaching constant all day and I'm helping other members in different areas of the community. But guys, if you guys are done, or if you could just trade off of alerts, I want you to learn. I hate people just trading off of alerts because you're not learning anything. The whole idea is do this on your own. But discipline, know when to not trade. How do you start? Okay, guys, the program starts today. It started already. We've had a bunch of signups. They have all the material. They have all the indicators. They have all the educational stuff. Okay, live trading is going to start October 1st. And obviously it's a month program. It'll go to October 31st, if that's even a weekday. What do you get? You're going to get all the educational material and indicators within 24 hours. You'll actually get it almost immediately because they're almost all up there. I have a few indicators I still have to put up. Live trading starts October 1st. Why do I want to do this now? So you can watch the videos, so you can install your indicators. So if you have any troubles, I can help you, right? If we start October 1st and we start trading and we have 10,000 people asking me questions about problems that they can't get this indicator or don't understand something, well, it's going to make it difficult for everybody. So the live trading starts October 1st. It ends the 31st. Why? That's 1 month. Let's see if we can duplicate last month. Okay. What's the cost? Guys, it's a one-time fee, $300. I don't want to deal with recurring revenue and people that want to cancel. I don't want to set you up on one of those things where you have to call up and say, I want to cancel. It's one time, $300. You're getting the education package that everyone basically paid $300 to $400 already of my existing members. Plus you're getting live trading. Okay. You get all that stuff. It's yours to keep forever. And then anyone that wants to stay, and this is only for the second month. Okay. It's $99. So if you want to stay and need live trading help for another month, it's $99. After that, you would have to join like any other regular member in my community. But if you're interested in education and learning and just need more help, the second month will just be $99, and you stay with the live trading. And that's basically it, guys. There's my Twitter handle. There's my email if you have any questions. If you have any questions now, I think you can ask them. I don't know how you ask them on this thing, but you can try. I don't know if this allows you to ask questions. It might not be set for questions, guys, because somebody's DMing me. And I apologize for that because I don't know how. Oh, wait. I got some questions. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, you know what, guys? Just ask questions through this. Because I see I didn't realize. I do have about 15 questions, and I'm not going to make you all stay on live to answer your questions. So I'll just answer your questions, or you can DM me. I'll send out a link for the registration. Guys, you don't have to register. This isn't. The only reason I did this now, again, is so you can get the educational material and learn and ask me questions beforehand. It'll just make life easier for you guys, because I'm not going to be able to, it's not fair to everyone else to stop the whole day to answer questions. So that's part of it. And again, oh, last part, guys, it's only open to 28 more people. Very simple reason why, guys. Okay. I have 3 kids. I'm a father. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I give everyone a 30-minute one-on-one call. It usually goes longer than 30 minutes. I just don't have the time, guys. Okay. It's that simple. So I can only take 28 more people into this program. Anyone that wants to sign up, if we get past 28, you'll be the first for November. Okay. Or I'll give you some educational video to look over ahead of time. We'll work something out, but I can only take 28 because it's not fair, because you need that 30-minute call, guys. That's one of the most important parts, to figure out where you're struggling. Okay. So that's one other thing I wanted to mention. I don't want anyone to think I'm just saying I'm cutting you off. You can't do it. You know, like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, no soup for you. It's just a time thing, guys. Okay. So I have to give everyone the time that I promised, the time that I give the traders in my room. So if there's any questions, guys, okay, you could email me. You could DM me on Discord. And if not, you could just ask through this Zoom, and I'll just run through them and answer the questions. If not, I'm going to close this off now, and I'm just going to run through the Zoom questions and answer them. And you guys do not have to like sit here and watch the screen while I type answers to people that ask questions. All right. I hope you all enjoyed it. I really wasn't trying to make this a sales pitch. It was more so I had so many questions. I just wanted to answer them all at once, because I was spending literally 20 minutes at like 11 o'clock at night going back and forth with people, DMing, answering questions. So that was the purpose of this. And I hope you all have a successful trading day and trading career. Speak to you later, and I will start answering all those questions through this Zoom now. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.